He like
I'm
wants.
daddy.
He likes.
I'm doctor.
I'm daddy.
I'm
I'm
bestie.
doctor.
I'm everything.
Hello,
Hi.
everybody, and welcome back to
Welcome back.
Timey-Wimey Talks.
Yes, sir, and ma'am, and those in between.
We wanted to go back. We had fun shooting the special episodes.
Yeah. Oh, of course we did. Go watch those.
Go
by
watch
the way.
the special
They're so
episodes. They're so fun.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes you have to like be less serious.
Yeah.
The doctor reviews a lot of like really tough subjects.
You stopped it hard. Why? The doctor only reviews hard. He does not review the soft ones.
Never soft.
We went to Walmart today to pick up something a little special.
Yeah, we got cake.
Look, it's got sprinkles too, and it's 3 parts. So look, raspberry sorbet, blueberry muffin, and lemon cheesecake. And I had to have it because why, Tyara?
Because one of our episodes reached 1,000 views, which is so... Let's go! We're just happy.
I know, we're really happy about it. And
that you guys are here, that you guys like our stuff.
115 subs, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And we're just really happy. We see the engagement and we see the progress. And
it makes us like want to keep going. So thank you guys. And like we love talking to you guys. We love your suggestions. Your suggestions make us watch the episodes.
Oh, exactly.
You guys make us watch the episodes. So thank you so much for the comments, the engagement.
We
love
have
it
a great
so
time
much.
doing
We
this.
love reading your responses. Like you can bash us like all you want. Like I'm down to see your guys' perspective on episodes. We are the smartest people that we've ever met, but at the same time we're open to other opinions that are wrong.
Yes.
We
will bash them.
I'm just kidding.
Will tell you
I'm totally kidding. We're totally
Which one are you digging into?
I want them all of them in the middle. I'm gonna go for the middle.
You didn't get the raspberry part.
I don't really like desserts.
I'm gonna go for the everything.
Oh, it's terrible.
What do you mean?
I don't like it.
This is from Buddy the Cake Boss.
This is from Walmart. Yeah, we're gonna put this one back.
No, I want more.
No, Alyssa, we're
I like
our
one
show. Part. ASMR. Cake eating.
Doctor Who mukbang ASMR. But anyway, we watched, and this was a suggestion from one of our viewers. We watched Flatline. We just watched Flatline.
Shout out to Jack O'Neill.
Shout out, Jack.
You're our guy.
Thanks.
We love your comments.
So we decided to reward you. You're so welcome. And we watched Flatline.
And I remember loving this episode. We haven't done an episode on Peter Capaldi. Everybody's favorite seemed to be Matt Smith, David Tennant. I think Peter Capaldi is such an underrated doctor.
Watching
so underrated.
Watching this, I forgot that, like, I don't know why I didn't like him as much the first time. Maybe I was just still stuck.
I love the playfulness. I love the playfulness of David Tennant and Matt Smith, but it's good to do a switch up to Peter Capaldi.
He's still playful too, though.
Because he's playful, but he shows his more like serious side, more unempathetic side, where he's a little bit harsher, and I like that about him.
Yeah,
I think Matt Smith and David Tennant are youthful, and that's great. But I think Peter Capaldi was a good like middle ground to the next doctor,
and it's a good callback to Classic Who. I feel like he acts like a lot of the
more mature, doctors. More serious. Like this isn't all fun and games. Like, but death is happening.
Yeah, but
blah,
he's still
blah, blah.
He's still goofy. He still keeps it together. So yeah, I really liked him in this episode. Like I thought it was a really funny episode all around. I really liked how the roles were reversed in this episode, and how Clara got to be the doctor. And they talk about it at the end. We'll touch on that later. But Monsters Who Play with like dimension is really cool. Like how they were 2D and then it moved in stages and then they were 3D. It reminded me of my favorite episode, Midnight, where the monster kind of moved in stages too. Yeah,
at first while we were watching this episode, we were worried we weren't going to have anything to talk about this episode.
We stopped about halfway through.
We were like, it's a great episode. It's fun. But we're like, what do we have really to say about it other than like it's cool? What do we have to think about? But then as soon as we were watching and we're discussing it, we actually like had some We have some stuff.
Yes, I think Tyara, you really popped up. She really came through with some of the points. I have them all written down. She always says good stuff, but she just forgets.
I forget. I'm literally so ADHD where I have an idea and it's like, it's gone. The moment I think of it, it's literally lost in the universe again for someone else to find.
For someone else to, that's me.
For someone, I'm like, Alyssa, find it for me because I can't keep my thoughts together.
Your first comment was how the doctor was like picking at Clara and Danny's relationship, like he was a little bit jealous.
Okay, yes. Before that, I want to say one thing because I'm going to forget what I'm going to say. Okay, I do like in this episode with Clara. Okay, she challenges the doctor in this episode, which I like and what some of the past companions, they do. But this new companion, Ruby, I don't see her challenging the doctor as much. Like his viewpoints, his ideas.
It might be because she's been with the doctor for a while now.
Clara. Yeah. I want to see Ruby challenging the doctor more instead of just idolizing him. Clara in this episode does not idolize this man at all. She's constantly challenging him, and he was like, oh, that's what you would have done. You have no empathy, blah, 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 blah. Like, she's constantly kind of like making small jabs at the doctor.
She's checking him.
And how he like runs things. And she's like, I'm going to do it this way because that's what you would do.
Yeah. And he's like, lying is never okay. And then he says like, I think when she was trying out the device or something to expand the dimension, she was like, it's going to work this time, right? And then he says, absolutely. And I'm like, lie. He's lying right now. Because he doesn't know.
What Alyssa was saying, which was the first point that she was talking about. So Clara's with Danny. That's her boyfriend. And there's a bit of this tension between Doctor and Danny. Because you can tell the Doctor kind of has this like crush on Clara a bit.
I think he's like attached to her. He's like,
attached to her. He's like, you're mine. I'm your main figure in life. Like, I'm first. And he like
I'm
wants
daddy,
he like
I'm doctor,
I'm daddy, I'm
bestie,
doctor.
I'm everything. Why do you need this
Why do you need this pathetic little man? Like, what?
To be honest, I don't even really like Danny anyways.
Yeah, so she has like this attachment to Danny that the doctor's jealous of. And Clara's lying to Danny about her going off in the TARDIS and going on this adventures because Danny doesn't want her because Danny's jealous of the doctor too.
Yeah,
and the adventures that he goes on.
Is he also like worried about Clara's safety though too?
Yeah, he is. He's just a good boyfriend.
I mean, he's like a nice guy, but like he's nothing. I don't know. He doesn't really excite me that much. No. And also, if you have to lie to your significant other, then there's a problem. Anyway,
which is what the doctor was saying. Like he like makes jabs at Danny. He was like, "Oh, if you guys are so great together, why are you lying to him? Why are you building a relationship off of lies? Blah 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 blah." Yeah. And then throughout the episode, Clara checks the doctor. The doctor's like, what are you going to do next? And she's like, oh, I'm going to lie to them and tell them that everything is okay. Because that's what you would do. Yeah. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. I'm trying to be a good doctor.
And then Hugh, like, just was like, what did you just say to me? What did you just say to me?
She said, I just hope I can get them all out alive. And then you mentioned, like, can you be a leader when push comes to shove? You were talking about how like difficult people that were in the group, you have to unite them as well. Like that one guy, the one guy.
Oh, that one.
The one where they said, "Oh, the wrong people survived," and they were talking about him.
There's like this old guy in the show that's just like a grudge or Scrooge. He's a Scrooge.
He's a Scrooge.
He's a Scrooge. Yeah. He's just like. Bah humbug. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, we hate him.
You're stupid. You're delinquent.
I would rather talk to the dimension monsters than him. Than that man.
Oh. Yeah. Alyssa said it.
He had stanky ass teeth. I knew it. I knew they were stanky.
His breath stank. His breath stank just like his attitude.
If you are an ugly person, it will show through your appearance and your actions.
So be kind to people or you'll be ugly and have stinky breath.
Exactly.
You know?
No, I really do believe that. Like, if you act ugly, you are ugly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Clara had to bring the whole group together. And that's something that you kind of, like, skip over. Like, the doctor does a great job at bringing groups together.
He does.
Like,
yeah.
To become a leader, you have to be able to work with difficult people. You have to take everybody's strengths and use them. And
there's a bigger mission there.
Yeah, there's a bigger mission. It can't just, like, you may think you're right and you may be right. But somebody else may be just as stubborn and think that they're right as well. And you need to be able to be like, hey, I understand our differences. Can we work on this greater goal together?
Yeah, it's like if you say like 2 + 2 is 4 and somebody says 2 + 2 is fish. You know that thing? It's like it all depends how you look at it. How am I going to bring the people together who say 2 + 2 is 4? Logically, how am I going to bring the people together who say 2 + 2 is fish? You know what I'm talking about? Because it's like when you take 2 2s
and then it makes a fish.
Yeah, so like
just
different
I didn't know
people look at things a different way. So it's like as a leader, you have to be objective in dealing with stuff like that.
And Clara gets put to the test because she's dealing with a group of people. One's obsessed with her. One's just difficult and does not want to deal with her. And he's like, why should I listen to you? And she's like, she thinks quick. And she's like, because I'm your only hope of getting this out alive.
Hello? In the way of seeing different people's strengths. Like, even though we hate that goblin man, we hate the stinky
even though
man,
his breath be stanky,
the ugly man,
you gotta put your nose plugs in and listen.
Well, what I'm thinking is when they were talking about trying to figure out the creatures and saying like, oh, they might be trying to communicate with us, I think it's important to have a character like that, because he kept saying like, they're probably trying to like hurt us. They could be gloating, like they're making fun of us right now. And even though like we all hate that guy, like he has a point, and it's important to have these multiple people in this group in this episode.
Exactly, because at first the doctor was being a brat about Clara, the guy that Clara was working with. What's his name? The kid? Riggsy. At first the doctor's like, get rid of this idiot human being, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like you go deeper, and even though you may think that they're stupid, they say some good points.
They got some good stuff. They think
know
about things differently than you do.
And that's why all humans should come together, because even if you don't like someone, it's important to listen to them and set your differences aside.
You should say that to your manager. Why don't you say that to your manager?
Even though I think I'm just kidding.
You're trying to get your promotion. Why don't you just say exactly what you just said? You'll probably get the job.
And so, see, look, Doctor Who helped me land a job. Hopefully. The difficult person in your life is the flatline people. You want to work to try to understand them. They may be irritating you and killing your whole family and everything around, but you need to ask them why. Before you make any assumptions. Before you make any assumptions. You know what I mean? Because maybe your grandma's annoying. Yeah. Maybe she deserved it.
Maybe, we're making fun of grandma for getting a boob job, but maybe she had boob cancer. You don't know that.
That's crazy. Alyssa and I were having a conversation about, like, a friend of mine, like, you never know why someone's actions are based on what's going on in their life.
I didn't like him until she told me about this. And I realized, I try to be like a kind and open person, like most of the time, but when it comes to Tyara, I'm like, no.
You're like being
I'm like, why are you friends with him? He's like, I just don't understand. Being protective, exactly. But she told me something about him today, and I was like, oh, like, dang, like bad on me for like prejudging people. Yeah, because like when you talk about it, when you explain it, like he's actually a good guy. Like he's actually fine. He's fine. It's fine.
The doctor allows everything to make a case before he makes a deductive decision on what he's dealing with.
And Clara goes along with it too. Like Clara, like he said, Clara made a good doctor. Like she was also of the mindset of like, we need to figure out like what they're trying to communicate to us. Like if they're trying to understand us first before we do anything. Because they are killing people, and that sucks.
And that's no good. And no one kills Auntie.
Sorry, Mixie's head. Oh, that one part where the doctor had to like manually move the TARDIS like with his hand.
With the Addams
after
family.
Clara was like Addams family. Like I like those moments where the doctor doesn't have any power and they have to figure out like a creative solution. And the doctor was like, I'm gonna die. It's over. But then Clara was just like came up with a creative solution, and then she was like, why don't you just like move it with your hand? And so I like that she came up with the idea and the fact that the doctor had to do, I don't know, he couldn't use any of his gadgets, he couldn't use any of his tricks. And also I really liked when the TARDIS went into siege mode, you know, when it turned into the cube. I feel like we never see the TARDIS like changing like on the outside, you know?
No, we don't. Which was like a cool.
It was really cool.
It was a cool thing
with
to
the
see.
Gallifreyan on the outside too. I was like, so is this like what the TARDIS like actually looks like, and blah 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 blah. So it invited a bunch of questions for me, which was really fun to think about. So thanks, Dr.
So fun
Who.
for you.
It was really fun. At the end, they were like, oh, I can't remember who said it, either Clara or the doctor, but just of like, maybe the wrong people survived. That also kind of like created some kind of conversation in my head of just like, oh, that's interesting that you like were thinking about how these creatures they deserve to live if they're just trying to figure out humanity, figure out life. And then with this one person, you're like, oh, never mind, wrong people survive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, so where's the line? Like, doctor? Like, I was just really interested that they said that.
He's giving grace to the monsters who literally just killed
20
people and is allowing them to have an explanation, but isn't really allowing the guy to have an explanation on his point. Like, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like the mean guy. And so like Clara or the doctor, I can't remember who said it, but one of them said, maybe the wrong people survived.
Yeah.
And maybe they were like joking or whatever, but I was like, that's really interesting that you think that there are right and wrong people to survive.
No, it was the doctor who said that.
The doctor said that, yeah. So, you know, he's still probably holding on to a little bit of that. But yeah.
He's petty too sometimes.
He's a little petty. We really liked the end scene, like when they're discussing how Clara made a good doctor, and the doctor goes, yes. And it was like really weird to us. We were like,
what is he trying to say?
Yes. So we had to go back because we were like
ominous, like, what did you mean?
And Clara raised her eyebrow too. But then so after we went back, we realized, he says goodness had nothing to do with it. The doctor is like, I feel like the doctor is scared of what he could be turning Clara into. He's realizing his influence on her. And he's like, you shouldn't want to be like me. That's not
goodness
really...
had nothing. Because she said, so I did good. Like, tell me I did good being the doctor. And he said, yes, you did good, but goodness had nothing to do with it. Saying that, like, you know, you being a good person wasn't the case of you, why you were a good doctor. It's the complete opposite.
Yeah, I see your point.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean that the doctor's good just because he, like, saves people or, like, the creatures or whatever, saves the day.
Because he kind of, like, tells her, like, a lot of people died still. You know, like, there was people that are dead. Like, that's the consequences of being a doctor. So he's like...
And you have to be witness to all of
that. Yeah, you have to be witness to that.
That you failed to save these people.
Clara just kind of, like, he's like, yeah, a lot of people died. And then it's just, like, Clara's just like, yeah, I did good, didn't I? Like, she was more focused on her being good and making the doctor proud than realizing that all these people are dying right in front of her. And she was like, he's like, people are dying. And he's like, I did good though, right? Because I saved the whole. And he was like, you still need to mourn the people that you lost. Like, it's not about proving anything.
Yeah, so
his job isn't about proving stuff. It's about genuinely, like, trying to make sure everybody lives and trying to, like, create a balance.
Yeah, I think so. Ours, like, kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do.
To where it's like, he's scared of what he's turning her into because she's more concerned about doing a good job than thinking about what actually just happened.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty crazy. And a bunch of people died. And, like, I think it's, like, something that's really good for the doctor to think about, you know, after this too, is just like...
It's looking at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. How could how has Clara changed from when I met her? Is it a good change? Yes, I've shown her the universe, and I've shown her all these wonderful, amazing things, but you know, she's having to lie to Danny. She is like acting like me, which is not the best.
Yeah, because she's like, you lie to people, doctor. Yeah. So why is it bad if I lie? Yeah. And he's like seen all this traits that she's seen, like, oh, I'm doing this because you would have done this. Yeah. And he's just like, whoa.
He said, wait, maybe I'm not perfect.
Yeah, he's like, maybe the doctor needs character development, like just like Alyssa and I.
Just like us. What did you say in the Walmart parking lot? What's your how are you developing more?
Oh, I'm developing by being more empathetic.
Yes,
which is like a good like thing, like a theme of this episode too. People act out for a reason. It's
and me having to revisit my empathy because I judged her friend too quickly. You know, like, and I was like, oh, oops, maybe I didn't afford everyone the same practice that I preach. Or whatever.
And what I really like, this kind of like, you know, the whole like the doctor had to look in the mirror because he saw Clara act in the way that he would act, and then he's like, I did not like that.
No,
I actually hated that. Yeah. And it kind of reminded me of the Never-Ending Story. In the Never-Ending Story,
this is a never-ending story. She never stops talking about it.
Love it. Okay, it's an older movie. But it's also a book. If you want to read the book is great. I talked about this before. But there's a mirror in the Never-Ending Story, and Atreyu has to pass through these levels. And one of those levels is a level that not many people get past, is seeing your true self in the mirror. Like the mirror reflects to you your true self. And in the book and in the movie, they say that most people don't make it past that level because most people,
you have to face yourself,
can't bear to see what your true intentions are, because it's like, okay, you see all these people volunteering and they're doing it, but then you look in the mirror and you're like, why am I volunteering? Is it so I can post on Facebook? Is it so I can impress my boyfriend to make him, or this guy, to make him think that I care about all these people? Like, what is my true intentions of doing stuff?
Yeah.
And Clara kind of sees this because the doctor's like, okay, yeah, you helped all these people, but you did it to impress me, not to actually save people. You did it to look clever, not because you actually wanted to help out. You were like more concerned with like showing off than you were with like, okay, but 5 people died. Are you thinking about that in your head?
Yeah, no matter
Are you thinking about that in your
how
head?
powerful you get or how like important you become, like if you are the doctor's companion or something, for instance, you can never forget the real meaning. You always have to question yourself every single day. And so that should be our new character development journey, I feel like.
Looking yourself in the mirror. And like really looking at your true self and your intentions of doing things.
I like to think, like, sometimes I make up fake scenarios in my head and I think, oh, how would I act? How would I act like in this scenario? Why is that funny?
It's never anything good in my head. Like somebody like makes a sarcastic comment at me and I'm just like, oh, I should have said this and they would have said that.
You know, when you're like in the shower or something and you just have nothing to do except read the shampoo bottle, or make up your entire life.
You're so bored in the shower. You're just like, oh, I'm reading the shampoo bottle.
No, I do. I do that.
I could clean my body, but I'm just gonna read things.
I can multitask. Can't I keep my brain busy while I keep my hands busy? I guess.
Stop! Why did you do that?
Because my hands started hurting.
Oh, I was like, you're like, I'll keep my hands busy, and I was like, wow.
No.
Well, this is keeping our hands busy. I gotta keeping our hands busy in the shower.
Because shut up. I got a Fitbit. This is how I keep my hands busy. I turn it, and it tells me to turn, and I turn it. Oh, what's my heart rate? That's pretty high.
What is it?
It's 109.
Is it really?
My resting is like, oh, now it's at 102. But anyways, we want to say thank you for watching today.
Thank you for suggesting episodes. We still have a special guest, which is a friend of ours that is going to come on.
Our schedules didn't work today, unfortunately.
Our schedules didn't work, so we had to make do. But this was good. It was a great episode.
Yeah, I really liked it.
I love this episode. I love when there's always like this is like one of those other episodes where it's like a new creature character that like it was fun because it's like completely like unexpected, something new that you like really
Yeah,
haven't seen
playing
before.
with the dimensions.
Like
they're from a 2D universe. I was like, well, how does that work?
How's that happen?
It really just like ignites your imagination. But yeah, thanks for 1,000 views on Vincent and the Doctor. Almost 1,000 on Waters of Mars.
And thanks for 100 subs, guys.
100 subs.
We love you.
And every day it goes up.
Keep suggesting stuff for us to do. Like, we appreciate what you like,
for sure.
what you don't like.
For sure. And we really liked those like vlog style episodes that we were doing, but I don't know. I think maybe the reviews suit us better.
Yeah.
I think they might suit us better, but we
maybe
switch
because
it up.
we're like grown and we're like 25 and maybe we shouldn't be just like acting like children and goodwill. But never grow up.
Well,
kids.
Exactly.
Never grow up.
Exactly, because life is not
always
as
be
fun
and playful.
Yes. I'm gonna go eat some more cake.
She really wants her cake.
I really do. It's the Cake Boss, Bobby something. The one, have you ever seen Cake Boss?
No. Peter Capaldi, we like you. You're a good guy.
Oh, good job.
And we're glad that we got to actually review his episode because we've been focusing on like Matt Smith and David Tennant because those are like the episodes that everybody like really suggests. But Peter Capaldi, underrated episodes. And we're looking forward to
thank you to Peter Capaldi as well. Yes. And Jenna Coleman, Clara.
Yeah, I love
she's always great. I definitely see what you mean, like when you were talking about in the last episode that you've been watching the episodes with Clara. She's actually really smart. And she like makes decisions on her own. And like I remember there was like a phone call. She was on the phone with the doctor, she couldn't hear him. And she goes, doctor, what should we do? And then she like can't hear him, so she's like, nope, what should I do? Yeah. So that was good.
That's good.
But
good job.
Thanks. Follow us on TikTok at timey-wimey.talks. It's been great having you guys here today.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's great to revisit this little couch talk.
Yeah, right?
I missed it a little bit. So here we are.
Well, farewell, mateys.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next week. Hopefully with our friend if she ever decides to show up.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Bye.
Bye.